right now is you've seen Prom in his Mirage form, and you've seen Itsuki, and they now have taken on a more familiar form of Prom. It's sort of Itsuki as Prom.
Okay.
With super awesome face tattoos.
Yeah, and it's no longer quite as sinister as it seemed before. This is a good chance for Mr. Takata to talk a little bit about the combat system, because we have elements of Fire Emblem's weapons triangle at play here, but we also have the Shin Megami system weakness, or Shin Megami Tensei weakness system in play here as well.
Two systems at once.
ご存知のようにファイアーエンブレムって3組というのがあると思うんですが、それとは別にですね、アトラスの作る RPG のバトルシーンで基本的にその敵の弱点を作ることでよりバトルが有利に展開するっていうのがあるんですよ。でそれとその3組っていうのが非常に相性がいいので、ぜひそのスキルとか使ってですね、戦ってみてほしいなと思います。
So, as you guys know, what's famous about the Fire Emblem's combat system is the idea of the weapons pyramid and the relationship between weapons. And for the games that Atlas makes, generally there's a focus on finding, whether they're demons or whatever you're fighting, finding their weaknesses and taking advantage of them. So we thought during the development cycle that these systems go really well together, the idea of finding weaknesses and taking advantage of them. So for people who pick up this game and play it, I'd really like you guys to look forward to seeing what weaknesses you can find and how taking advantage of them will, reward you.
Now, I've done this just as a very basic attack. I didn't do anything fancy right here, but we're going to get into some of the fancier and unique elements of this game. How cool, I leveled up. I can't hear it in here because of how crazy the E3 volume is, but
E3 2015.
There's like a really awesome musical nod to Fire Emblem going on during the level up. Another way in which the Fire Emblem
Everyone's level 6 now.
Here. So I'm going to jump back into some more battles, and maybe this time I'll actually be able to stun someone. We'll see if this works out.
No,
all right.
You were
I'm good.
earlier.
I just got to find somebody to beat up.
I so badly want you to go over to that maybe.
So I've used Crom's rapier to stun him, and then I'm going to go up and
Can you do it twice?
start a battle with him, and I have an advantage now.
Yeah, that's a cool little aspect that people can play with.
What?
His intro with Toma is fantastic.
He's on a motorcycle? Why?
He is majestic. So now what
Lancers on motorcycles. I thought card games on motorcycles was ridiculous enough as is.
When I trigger a session attack, you'll see like there's a little exclamation point on characters that are weak against whatever attack I've got selected. I'll just start with a basic slash here. When I select the slash, I'll be starting. I don't see other characters queued up for my session attack just yet. But on the left-hand side, you would see other people who are going to join into a session attack. I'm not sure I'll get one this time. But now I'm going to trigger a session attack and try to get a combo going.
Okay, and you've got that green exclamation point showing up on the enemy.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going to go for. And now you can see where I had just one character before, I've got 3 characters who are all going to jump into this attack with me.
They
also
look really
check out
excited
Prom
about
and
it.
Itsuki and Tsubasa in the background.
Yeah,
Their
they
little
look
background
so
banner art
excited.
is
They're
so cool. All right, so like while we're here, since you pointed that out, it's a good chance to talk about like that. This whole battlefield looks like a stage.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah,
a
it
laser
does.
light show going on. I don't know who the audience is. Maybe Mirages are out there like watching us like go to it.
I like to think it's the Mirages.
They're here for the show. And also, like all of the attacks on the bottom of the screen there, like they pop up like singles. Like you've got the name of the song and then the artist performing the attack. So I love like every bit about this has this beautiful music vibe to it.
Here we go.
Like there's a scrolling banner in the background.
Whoa! Nice dodge.
So that was Itsuki and Tsubasa combining for a session attack, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna see if I can get another session attack.
I really like the fusion of the Shin Megami and Fire Emblem elements in the battle too. It adds an extra layer of coordination and strategy really to the game.
Oh, that was serious overkill.
It was.
Yeah, so a lot of this game, we can see the weaknesses because this is a played up save. This is you know, a little bit deeper into the game. But I don't think it's going to be like that all the time.
Right.
You're going to have to learn the weaknesses before they'll start showing up on screen. So you have to interact with an enemy and figure out how to fight them as you're going.
I love that character artwork you get to see after each battle. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I feel like this game itself just, they've really put a lot of thought and effort into designing everything. Every little detail they've added it in, and all the nods to the fans. It's really cool.
So you just opened a floating treasure chest there.
All right, so I'm going to start showing off the gimmick for this particular dungeon.
Yes, it's
The
time.
giant maid. The time has come for the giant maid.
So, Mr. Takata, would you like to talk a little bit about the gimmick for this dungeon
Ah!
and the way dungeons operate?
Where's its head?
このダンジョンのギミックについてコメントはありますか？
ここは渋谷で有名なファッションビル
Oh, it's just a giant dress.
なので、
Okay.
こういう巨大なマネキンがいたり
Possibly a giant mannequin
現実のそのある世界を持
that's
ち出し
dressed
たダン
up.
ジョンになってますで他にもいろんなダンジョンがあってそれぞれ工夫を凝らしたギミックがあるので楽しんでもらえたらいいなと思います
So he's saying that this particular dungeon is based on a real-world location in Japan, which is well known for fashion, which is the 109 building or the Maru Q building in Shibuya. So the gimmicks or the puzzles that you'll see in this game are also based on fashion. However, there are lots of other
Oh, you
dungeons in
travel
this
through
game
one
that are based
sleeve
on
and come
real-world
out the
locations
other.
That all have different gimmicks themselves. So everybody, please,
awesome.
you know, look forward to getting your hands on those.
Yeah.
So I've reached the end of where I can explore right now. I was able to reach this part of it by clambering through the maid costume so that I could reach this side of the room. For me to get deeper into the dungeon, I'm going to need to navigate my way, you know, through the different floors of the building.
Right.
I walk over here and I see these mannequins on display.
Yep.
There's a spotlight on one of them, and by no small coincidence, the arms are in a pose that's very similar to the giant maid.
Right.
It gives me a little bit of a hint of what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah.
I also can check in with this friendly Mirage right here and see what he's got to say.
Floaty creatures, water.
And I really like that inclusion of some puzzle-solving elements in dungeons. You know, give you something extra to do while also fighting battles.
I'm going to go over here and interact with the display. I'll switch it to, we'll just start with the second one. Switch the arms are moving, and probably not the right choice because I've got the arms in the wrong
I would
position.
love to
looks
install
cool.
something like this in my house, but I don't think it would fit.
It was fun to watch her.
It was
go
fun
like
to watch.
this. Yeah.
So I'm going to go down to the third option now and get it back to a position where I can actually crawl through her limbs. There we go.
I
And
feel really anxious. Like, what's in there? What is living
Right?
in there?
pigeons.
Are there pigeons?
So I'm going up to, I think I'm on the third floor now.
Okay.
And I try to navigate my way around
Jeez.
here.
Right.
I see that I've got another opportunity here to change the pose of the mannequin. I've also got some more mirages, and I'm gonna play with them a little bit too, because there we go.
Nice.
And the cool thing about that too is that you can hit them, and then if you don't want to battle them, you don't have to. You can move past them while they're stunned.
Yeah, I haven't shown off that part of the system yet, but if you knock them down, they will just fade away after a little bit.
Oh.
So I don't need to jump right into a combat if I'm not ready.
Okay, so these are different enemies this time.
No, I love the two knights, sort of the centaurish looking guys on either side. They're like half motorcycle, half horse, half jousting dude.
You need a horse. Thing.
Whoever that small girl was in the middle, you took her down perfectly.
I know.
She didn't have
We
we
just
didn't have a
took her
chance to
out
talk
too.
about her.
Like, we're just gonna kill you now. I guess.
Really taking advantage of the session
Oh.
attacks because they want to show
Weak
off
to
a bunch of
lightning.
these here. Plus, they're a great way to make short work of the enemies.
I love his attitude.
I know Toma as Kane is great. So we talked about Tsubasa wants to be a singer. I'll see if no special weaknesses right now. I'll just do this. Toma wants to be an actor, but he still has performa within him. You know, it's all of these creative arts that provide people with performa.
Right.
So you have among all of your friends, you have all of these different talents, all these different people that come along to join you. And it's more than just like dealing with the idolosphere and fighting your way against these enemies, you're also kind of navigating the entertainment industry after a fashion. Maybe Mr. Takada would like to talk a little bit about that, because I think that's a really interesting part of this game.
今までコンバートについて話しましたけれども、コンバートだけじゃなくて、その他にこう芸能界のキャラと芸能界との関係についてこのストーリーもそれについての描写がありますけれども、それについて。
そうですね、メインストーリーがロープレなんであるんですけれども、それ以外に各キャラクターごとにサイドストーリーっていう任意で選べるお話があるんですよ。それはそれぞれのキャラクターたちが芸能界でサクセスしていくためのお話なんですけれども、主人公がそれをサポートしてあげることで、彼らの成功していくドラマを楽しむだけでなく、ちょっとバトルとか育成でいいことがあったりするっていうのはありますね。
So, as you know, there's a main story to this game, which, I mean, is common sense, but there's also a side story for each of the characters that you'll meet along the way, too. And each character has a relationship with the Japanese entertainment world. Like, for example, you see Toma, who's trying to be an actor, or you see Tsubasa, who's trying to be a Japanese singer. And so the main character, Itsuki, basically improves his relationship with these characters and helps them realize their dreams, and each of these characters has a side story as well about realizing, you know, their dreams within the entertainment world.
Nice.
Now we're going to switch to another section of the game in just a few minutes. I want to show off a little bit more combat and also show off some of the all right,
Anteater
these giant
muscle creatures.
So anteater trolls, yeah.
It looks like they're called trolls, so don't get trolled. Sorry.
You're not sorry.
They look tough though, but
I just noticed, like, not only is there the banner saying Shibuya 106 in the background, there's also I'll go for this one. There's also like mannequins. There's like a screen of like mannequins up in the background.
Yeah, I know there's so much to notice in these battles that
it's just
you'll
insane
still be
visual
seeing
detail,
new things after you've played lots of them.
I like that we get confetti at the end too.
Yeah,
confetti's always nice.
I need more confetti in my victories. This is an area that I'm not going to be able to get into just yet. We're only showing you a little bit of how the main dungeon flow operates, but there's a lot of areas that you can go back to and revisit later on. So it's not just like the core experience of the dungeon, but there's also some replay where you're going to have to go back and revisit them and explore deeper into some areas that you didn't get to before. I can't get around there yet either. On the other side, there's something around the corner that I can't quite reach.
So are we gonna jump to another location, or?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to jump to another location. Everybody close your eyes as I switch to a different chunk of save data.
Oh, you were kidding, sorry.
It's subtle. I'm really subtle. We're gonna jump over to Harajuku now.
Okay. Oh, Harajuku, that's
awesome.
another
there we go.
Tokyo location.
And just show off a little bit more of the real-world locations.
Right.
And while we're exploring, this would be a good chance for Mr. Takada to talk about some of the research that went into this, because you can see that there's a lot of love and attention to detail that went into recreating all of these locations.
今原宿を探索しますが、その間高田さんにそのなんか各場所を再現させるためにどのような研究をされてきたのか。
そうですね、当然写真を撮影して街並みを再現するんですけれども、人がすごく多いんですよ。なのでなかなか資料の写真が撮れなくて、マップを担当している人たちは朝すごく早く起きて撮影をしたり、まだ電車が動いてない時間ですね、撮影したりしてすごく苦労してました。でちょっと細かい話でいくと、原宿のこの通りって実はもうちょっと道が狭いんですよ。でもそれじゃ遊びづらいんで少し広くしてたり、先ほどの渋谷とかは本当はもうちょっと広いんですけど、少し狭めに作ったりとかして遊びやすさにも配慮してます。
So to get the locations to look as realistic as they are, we relied on taking pictures of the actual locations so that we can make the levels later. But in order to do that, we had to wake up really early in the morning when the streets weren't as crowded and when there weren't trains running.
That must have been tricky.
There are some other things you might notice, like for example, people who have actually been to Harajuku might see the Harajuku here and be like, wait a second, the streets in the real Harajuku are much narrower. Or, you know, you saw Shibuya before on the on Treehouse Live, but actually Shibuya is a lot more vast, but we tried to make it more compact so that people would be able to explore it easier, all to make the game feel a lot better for the player.
Wait, if it were more compact, that would mean it would be even narrower. So wouldn't you mean more expanded?
Living their day-to-day life. It's like it sets you apart, and it really makes you feel like you're off on your own adventure while the real world is still moving around you.
You can see there are characters that are more clearly defined that you can talk to and interact with.
You should maybe talk about the topic in the upper left.
Oh, right, yeah, we should talk about the topic. Up in the top left corner, you can see a bunch of messages that are waiting for me. I'm getting messages from my friends all the time, and they're coming in on the gamepad, so the gamepad is basically working as like my cell phone. If we could switch to the gamepad screen and I could find my way to the topic stuff, I do want to show off what some of this looks like, just for some of the home viewers. If we could switch to the, they'll catch up. Okay, there we are.
There we go.
So you can see I'm getting instant messages from my friends,
right?
And they take the form of very contemporary,
like
very modern feeling instant messages. Yeah. I'm not going to spend too much time here because I don't want to spoil any of the story, but like the fact that you're getting these message updates regularly, we can switch back to the main screen again.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're getting these messages regularly is really great to me. It feels like I'm constantly getting like updates from my friends. I'm constantly getting asked where I am. Well, I have a chance to contact them and make do some dialogue choices even within that instant message system.
The Shin Megami Tensei series, for people who are familiar with it, has always brought real-world elements, in a sort of a real-world setting to the RPG genre. And I love that there are things like the topic that are kind of updating that idea for more modern times, things that people will really recognize from their own daily life.
Now I'm going to switch to a boss battle. I just want to show off a boss battle while we still have some time here.
Take us in.
This boss battle is it's a good opportunity to show off some more of the gameplay system. But it's also a recognizable character from the Fire Emblem series. You'll see him in just a moment.
I'm excited.
Recognizable if you played the Fire Emblem series.
Yes.
If you haven't played the Fire Emblem series,
what the heck?
Spoiler.
So people may recognize him. He's actually Gangrel, and he was known as the Mad King Gangrel in Fire Emblem Awakening. But here you can see he's looking a little different. He's missing his eyes. His skin is kind of purple.
And he's a Mirage, just like everybody else is, who's taken possession of a photographer, a fashion photographer. So you see him now sort of having possessed this guy, and now we're fighting him basically to free the photographer from his control. Mr. Takata, would you like to talk a bit about some of the other combat elements that we're about to get into, the Mirage attacks and the duo attacks, because I'm about to get really tied up in this battle.
ミラージュタックと、ドアアーツについてちょっとご説明いただけますか。ミラージュアタックとドアアーツについて。
Poor Gangrel, we'll wake him up.
Yeah, he does look bored.
クロムたちの力を解放して使う必殺技みたいなものなんですね。で、本来先ほど連続で攻撃していた技があると思うんですけど、敵の弱点が使えない時とかにもそれで強制的についたり、で今ちょっと出た技とかは2人
He looks like he's ready to fall asleep right there.
エレオノーラっていうさっき弓を使った女の子の2人を
What?
デビューさせることが使えるようになる技があったりします。
What?
So the Mirage attacks are
What?
the attacks that you'll see where each character uses their own Mirage. So for example, Itsuki will borrow Chrom's energy, or Tsubasa will borrow Sita's energy, etc. And they're really helpful for like times where you need to hit enemy weak points.
So he can decapitate himself at will?
Duo arts go
He's yawning.
Duo arts are when characters will join up for an attack, kind of like a combo attack together for one. And I think that you'll see one with Eleonora and Tsubasa together, and sometimes you'll get these throughout the course of the story, like for example when your relationship with the character, see if you press the, there you go.
I'll go for this one.
This is the duo arts. Yeah, this is the one that he's talking about. So
it's really fun.
You'll see Eleonora is the bow user who's on the right, and they'll unlock this throughout
what?
the course of the story.
Is this
as
a
their
summon or
connection
something?
with each other
Some sort
gets
of
better.
special bonus thing or
They'll
something?
learn new dual arts together.
And this is a nod to the Fire Emblem franchise as well, with the dual attacks that you would have in Fire Emblem, where two characters would pair up. So I like seeing the way that this stuff comes into play. The fact that you get these by pursuing characters' side stories, really, I like the way that feels, because